All right, what it is, folks. We back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. As always, I'm happy to have my brothers here with me. My boy Jason Clay. What's happening, man?
Man, everything good. Peace and blessings, man.
Oh, we always need dough. Always need dough. Got my boy JoJo here with me. What up, JoJo?
What's good? What's good?
And you already know the honorable one, Tim G. Jacob. What it is, man?
Man, ain't nothing to it, man. Let's go to work.
Man, about to go to work, man. You already know it. And this episode is sponsored by Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear makes a statement. Got a statement tee on right now. Hey, and everybody need to do this. Unmute yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Speak your truth. Unmute yourself. Speak your truth. Because that's exactly what we do on Put It On Something. We ain't going to waste no time. We're going to get straight to it. Man, the Cowboys, America's team, fell to the Cardinals in the first start for Andy Dalton. We know he came in and got a win in the previous game. But as some in major sports media pointed out, it's always easier for the backup to come in into a game. The other team hasn't scouted. They ain't got no reps on them. They ain't really looked at the tape. So this was the first game where Andy Dalton came in Big D as the starter, and it didn't go well. Now, some might not put that all on Andy Dalton. We saw Ezekiel Elliott have back-to-back fumbles, was it? And the Cardinals scored on both of those possessions. And it pretty much was over with from there on. Just want to see, man, what were y'all reactions to Andy's first start in Big D? JoJo, will go to you first.
All right. The Cowboys fall to the Cardinals. And what else is new? They fall to everybody.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's not like I didn't expect it. Also, you said about the backup coming in. Well, they didn't really have a backup. Dalton is the backup of the backup. He should be holding a clipboard. There's a reason why the Cowboys was able to get Andy Dalton. Players that are good, the teams lock them up. There's a reason he was a free agent and he was able to come over there. I don't know what they saw in Andy Dalton to say, oh, he's going to come in and give us a spark. Mm-hmm. We already see if Ezekiel Elliott is not running for $150, the Cowboys may not win another game. And that's saying a lot because they got the Giants, they got the Eagles, they got the Redskins on their schedule.
Hot take, Joe. Hold on, hot take, Joe.
Telling y'all,
$150?
How many other teams we got in the league? If you take the Cowboys out, you got what? How many teams?
Right?
31.
31. That's 31 other teams that has Jerry Jones on their side. I said it last show. That man is he is a problem for that team. You know how? Okay, let's put it this way. When Donald Sterling left the Clippers, they actually started winning. Then did they not?
Yeah.
So maybe I don't want Jerry to do what Donald did.
Okay.
That just wouldn't be right. But Jerry needs to go off in the sunset, get on his yacht, live his life. He got all the money in the world. Let somebody else take over that team. You know, still have part ownership. Get your bread. I ain't trying to take that away from him. But you just got to remove yourself from that team if that team is going to win. Like think about it. When have you seen Zeke fumble twice in a game?
They've been turning the ball over quite a bunch this year now. Now twice, I ain't seen that.
Like that game just looked like it was like, okay, Cowboys, this not your year again. Just that simple.
Why you throw the again on there, man?
Because we talking about 20 plus years now.
It been that long? Yeah, it has been that long. It's been that long and more. We talking about it's been about 25 years,
24, something like that.
When they won the 95, right?
95 or 96.
Year after us. The year after us.
Yeah, y'all won that in 94 season. So yeah, Lord, it's been that long.
Like some got to change, and it's the owner. It's the owner. I ain't gonna even say it's the players. I think if the owner remove himself, maybe everybody else here will be a little clearer.
Lord have mercy. That's hot take Joe, people. Yeah, that's what he do. Clay, what was your reaction?
Man, like Joe pretty much summed it up, man. How about them Cowboys, man? This is them, man. Like I was talking, like we were talking earlier. They the players that they got, they ain't playing for their star. Like I was trying to say earlier, when I'm a 49ers fan, so you gonna know your enemy, your basically your rivals, you gonna know them almost like you know your own team. And the one thing I would say about the Cowboys back in the past is that they had swagger, but they played for that star. They put their heart and soul into it. The boys that they got now, they playing for the star, but not playing for the star. They there. They living off the coattails of Dallas, like the glory and everything. It's like, don't get it twisted. Out of all the teams in the NFL, everybody loves the Cowboys. That's why they always get relevancy. And like every year, they always Super Bowl contenders. Even though they have talent, but no matter what's going on, they always mention as being Super Bowl contenders because America loves the Cowboys. And so, like, and every player, they love the Cowboys as well. So they want to go there and play there because of the prestige of it. But they not built really for it. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, they made that swag for the Cowboys. These boys just trying to live out that swag, but they not trying to continue the legacy. And so when you see like how they got spanked, I mean that says it all. But I ain't gonna too much say that to the fullest degree. It shows how strong our division is. Like, man, that division that they playing in, man, that division trash, bro. Let's just be real, man. Look at the worst teams in the NFL. 75% of them in that division, man. Like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck now. So it's like, okay, but with us, we just went to the Super Bowl last year, and we almost was at the bottom of the division. Like all the teams that the bottom feeders of our division can go to any other division and be possibly number one and number two. And the Cardinals showed them that. Like, it's a difference between looking at a team and saying, okay, they record-wise don't always tell you how good a team is, especially when you in a gauntlet like we have. So I mean, like I said, it comes down to they lost I guess to say offensive leader in Dak. They lost that. Andy Dalton, I mean, he there because of the home, I ain't gonna say hometown, but the home state favorite. That's why they there. I don't know, they were just trying to play ticket prices or whatnot and be like, okay, this is a good fit for you. You at home, around your people and everything. You know what I'm saying? You in Texas. That's that. But I mean, like I said, man, it ain't the coaches. Because we see this. It ain't the coaches. You blame
That's a big statement on that, kid, because you got a report out today where the Cowboys players are blaming the coaches.
Well, what about last year when you had a coach?
They were blaming them then too.
That's what I'm saying. And look, if it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, bro, maybe it's y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, like that, like a girl when she always losing men and saying, this man doing this, this man doing this, this man doing this. Well, maybe it ain't the man. Maybe it ain't the man. Maybe it's you. So that's what I'm saying.
You sound like that Cat Williams, ain't it? Cat Williams say, you always say men ain't shit, but maybe you just your pussy attract ain't shit men.
It's like it ain't the coaches. The coaches be the scapegoat. The main thing is that it's a combination of that and I say the players. They done paid players money that they expecting big time things out of, and they ain't getting big time things, or they'll get not what they really paid for, like a less in value with it. So it's like, okay, they dealing with the injuries, which I ain't gonna use no excuse because we getting down with injuries and we still handling our business how we supposed to do it. The Eagles stay injured too, but they have heart. We just gotta call it a spade, man. Them boys just they ain't built for that cowboy life. And everybody just trying to point fingers. Now, this partly Jerry Jones' fault because Jerry Jones won't get people in there that kind of can structure that and bring a culture in. It got to be his way or no way. So that's his fault as well. But at the same time, it wasn't no problem when he had all them boys back in the 90s. It wasn't no problem then. The difference is that the players different. So he trying to use that same love and emphasis on these players now when they not the same. So that's what he making mistakes at. Because remember, we laughed at him in the past and we was like, why he getting all these linemen? You could have got this lineman back then in the third round or the second round. Why you getting all these top first round or second round linemen? Like, you reaching at these linemen. The next thing you know, they turned into the best offensive line in the game. So it's like some of them players that he's reaching on, he expecting certain things out of them, but they ain't built like that. And now it all comes to, you know what I'm saying? The season all come down to a point where it's like, how about them Cowboys, man? Y'all getting exposed like how y'all really been. Y'all wasn't that good. Y'all was just in a weak division. And now you starting the I guess the new car smell coming off y'all now. And now you looking like I got a bucket now. I'm riding a hoop. We thinking it's a Mercedes Benz or Ferrari or whatever, but you showing that it's a bucket. So that's all it is, man. You can't blame nobody no more. Who else you gonna blame? But Jerry.
So you got anything, any kind of solace, any peace, any comfort that you can give the Cowboys nation, T. Anything.
When you got a division where you play against Texas San Antonio, Rice, and Grambling, because I'm just gonna throw Grambling in there.
Cowboys nation, y'all should appreciate that. I asked him for something for y'all, and he gave you that.
Listen, as bad as that division is, they still got hope. Andy Dalton, I don't think he played bad yesterday. I really didn't. I didn't think receivers were really running routes. I did think one of those interceptions really was not his fault on that CeeDee Lamb play with Kirkpatrick.
The one that like the pass interference type.
I think that
could have been. Yeah, okay.
I think that was an interference.
Then Gallup dropping the TD.
Then Gallup dropped the TD. Zeke had 2 fumbles.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what were your thoughts on Zeke?
It's in his head right now. You can tell it. He's not nowhere near. He knows right now that he ain't got the kind of holes that he could have. His whole line is gone. They literally are like, they're on the B team on the offensive line. So those holes ain't gonna be there. But now I will say this: I do think it's in his head because I don't think Zeke ran as hard as Tony Pollard did in that game. I think Tony Pollard ran hard in that game. I think he hit the hole. Maybe he had a little bit more burst than Zeke. Maybe he's faster than Zeke. I don't know. But I thought Pollard ran hard. I thought he played hard in the points in which he was in the game. But it's simple. They're without culture, and that's just the bottom line. They're without culture. Bringing McCarthy in was not a great decision at all. Jerry
Super Bowl winner. They say they brought in a Super Bowl winner.
No. It's just like in Tecmo Bowl, where you're the guy that makes the players work, or Madden, you make them work.
Right.
But in reverse, the players made that Super Bowl run work. McCarthy had nothing to do with that. That was the greatness of a defense, Aaron Rodgers, and a running game that started clicking in the back half of the year. That's the only reason why he got that bowl. So McCarthy should have never been hired. I disagree with the hire very beginning. They should have hired anybody else, somebody else. It wouldn't have mattered. They should have hired Deion. Deion probably would have done a better job with the Cowboys.
Coach Prime, shout out Coach Prime.
Just saying. So, but they really are lacking of culture now. They still got 3 of the best receivers in the division. I'm not gonna say their defense is going to just, play lights out, but as poor as the offenses are in that division, they play anywhere close to average, they could still get in. I just think they're gonna have to sit down and retool, man. They're gonna have to figure it out. They got a lot of soul searching to do. They just do.
Well, I got 2 things I want to bounce off all 3 of y'all. 2 things I want to get, 2 minutes or less on both of these things. All right. And either one of y'all can jump in here on this first. First thing is with Zeke. Now the focus on Zeke. With the contract dispute with Dak, I think everybody was focused on Dak. What is Dak doing? What is Dak doing? Because we were focused on the money. Well, now that attention is back on Zeke, where it used to be. I know when they had that 13-3 year, everybody raving about Zeke. He was leading the league in rushing and stuff like that. So with Zeke's regression, in terms of yardage per game, not only this year, that last year as well. And I asked Ray this as well. Do y'all think Zeke was more of a product of the great offensive line that Clay just talked about? You know, 'cause they had 3 Pro Bowlers, 3 All Pros on their offensive line. Was Zeke more of a product of a great line and he just hit a hole? Or was he actually a good back and now the 300 touches, 300 carries, 350 touches every year has got to him? Or do you think he still got something left and he gonna turn it up when they get healthy?
Well, I would say I wouldn't want to choose, but I'd say it's probably a mixture. I do think Zeke is a good back. I think
Okay.
Zeke kind of maybe sitting on his laurels a little bit. He didn't got paid. He didn't put that money in the mattress. Now the mattress don't feel the same. He got
Mm-hmm.
his back a little crooked. He
Mm.
probably ain't getting the right kind of sleep. Uh,
Mm.
and I hate to say that because I know owners would try to use that. Like that's why I don't want to pay him. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like again, it's back to Jerry. Like Jerry kind of
He gonna take it back to Jerry, boy.
listen. Jerry is the mainstay of that team.
Right.
Everything around Jerry has changed except him being the owner. So that, that so getting back to Zeke, I think Zeke, I think he's a good back. He looks bigger to me, a little chubby. Um, but I do think the number of touches is getting to him too.
Was
If you
Jerry
go back,
wrong? Was Jerry wrong to give him his money then? Because as the guy who bringing that smoke to Jerry, was Jerry wrong to give him the money?
okay, I don't like counting people pockets.
I know,
This is
but
this is
put it
what I'm
on,
gonna say though.
but put it on
This,
something. We
this is
talking
what I'm
Jerry
gonna
money.
say.
You can count Jerry. I
This is
can
what I'm
Google it.
gonna say.
Forbes count it.
I'm gonna tell you this. Zeke wasn't gonna stay in Cabo for forever. I think Jerry probably should have gave him less money where he could look forward to a second contract after this one. You know what I mean? Where he still got to be like, all right, if you want to get top running back money, you got to do this for me another 3 years. You know what I mean? Because I mean, with anybody, we all get complacent. You know, if you get me and I'm set for life, that there's gonna be some type of complacency that sits in my bones. But you know, as me, I got to be a person that say, hey, if I'm coming to work, I got to do my job. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but what I was going to say about the carries, Zeke, I don't know if y'all can remember Zeke rookie year in a preseason game, they was playing against Seattle. Zeke went heads up with Cam Chancellor. So he came into the league willing to run into people rather than, save his body. You know what I mean? Yeah, kind of like AP, but I feel like AP is more like Bron. You know what I mean? He just, I don't know, his body built for that contact. I don't think Zeke really built for that. So I think Zeke has rest on his laurels. I think it's a combination of everything.
Okay.
But I think the reason is Jerry Jones.
Okay. Well, we see what his smoke is. Clay, what you think, man?
I say it's a combination of that offensive line has regressed and he got paid. Like Joe said, and this with anybody, like I said, unless you just had that love for the game, like folks have to realize everybody that's in the NFL, they may like the game, it may be fun to them, but it ain't too many of them that love the game. You see what I'm saying? Like that'll go out there and almost die for the game. It ain't too many people like that no more. So it's like if you get paid, of course, you know what I'm saying, like you gonna regress a little bit because it's like, okay, hey, I don't have to try to make this type of move or make this type of run or this and the third and risk tearing my body up because let's look at it like, man, there's players that have been paralyzed, players that have died before, all of this, you know what I'm saying? Like after football, you still gotta live your life. Like you may have injuries or all kind of things that
Okay.
gonna nag you for life. So it's like, okay, in the beginning, every player gonna play hard as possible because they trying to get that contract to set them for life. But once you get that money, you unless you just had that will for the game, you're not finna especially running back, which is like what the most volatile position. You're not finna risk, either getting hurt to where you can't get all of your money or potentially hurting yourself to where you can't play no more. Nah, you ain't gonna go to that extreme. So what I think more so of is Zeke. He got paid, so he's not gonna run as hard. Like I say, if he was running 100% hard in the beginning before he got the money, he dipped that down to like 88, 89, something like that, because he don't have to do that no more. He got paid. He ain't got to do that no more. Plus,
I'm laughing about the specific number.
yeah, I'm just assuming. You know what I'm saying? He running at like 88, 89% because he got money now. And
Right.
like I said, that offensive line is like Zeke, not no shifted back. You know what I'm saying? Zeke more so I'm a hit the hole and go and truck you. He not like, okay, I'm gonna make multiple people miss like that. You know what I'm saying? He's still a good back now, because I seen what he did against Bama, which was gonna be the closest defensive line you was gonna see the pro in college. I seen what he did. So he can run it well.
Now he had a souped up line at Ohio State
Hey,
too now.
but he was running though. And Bama had a souped up defense too.
They
That's
did
what
that. They did.
you know
Okay.
what I'm saying. Like,
I can't argue with that. I can't
so
argue with that.
he can run. He just got paid. And you know what I'm saying?
So both y'all saying he got complacent. I know, Joe, you got smoke with Jerry Jones, but you also saying y'all think he got complacent, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's interesting now. Especially playing with a team like the Cowboy. You sharing that, T?
Yeah, I think he has. I think that's been I think that's been his kind of his attitude. Zeke's not Zeke's I think I saw where he's come out and said he took blame for the loss and everything, which a lot of people would take a blame for that last night, but I'm gonna say he is a little complacent. I don't see that fire anymore. Some guys make it work behind even worse lines in the league. Aaron Jones, I ain't gonna say Aaron Jones. That's a bad example. But Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders saw a tough Baltimore run D with a very banged up offensive line, and he made it work. I think he ran for a buck or better yesterday or Sunday. I mean, he did. He ran well in the midst of that line. So I think he just got to make it work. Now, maybe this was the game where, he had a lot of emotion and maybe he was trying to do it for Dak. Because I'm gonna assume that he and Dak are kind of cool. I think he likes Dak. I think they're cordial.
Yeah, remember they were at the COVID party together.
Yeah, that's right.
At one of them house.
So I think he came out and he's like, okay, I ain't got Ford in front of me no more. I'm gonna do work. And I think it was one of them games where he just was not settled in, and it was kind of like him and Kyler went two different directions, because Kyler wasn't settled in that game early, and Zeke wasn't. And Zeke went south, and Kyler went north. And I just think it's complacency, though. A lot of it is really.
Well, with that, and I'm gonna start with you, T, since you right here. With that statement by the players indicting the coaches, 6 weeks into the season, would you say it's done? Would you say that team, that the culture and everything for this year is a wrap with a bombshell indictment like that? Like with the Clippers, we got the report on the Clippers and all they crap after they got put out. We had week 6 and we already got the Cowboys players saying our coaches do not know what they're doing. You think it's a wrap?
I think it was a wrap last year because they aren't being accountable for themselves and their play. I've yet to hear DeMarcus Lawrence say, I'm trash. He called other people out. I've yet to hear Jalen Smith say, I'm playing like crap. I've yet to hear anybody on the defense or offensive side of the ball. Amari Cooper was missing for a while in that game. He wasn't getting open and getting targets really in that game early. I think CD finally started to catch up some, but Cooper was gone for a while, and that's the number one. And he's playing against the Pat Peterson.
That's what they used to say about him in Oakland, though, ain't it?
Well, they do.
With Cooper.
They do. But you got to realize, though, you got to give. And that's why I don't blame Dalton in that game, because you got to come out there with an extra something. I mean, it wasn't like, look, granted, outside of Buda Baker, Buda Baker is the best player on that secondary, probably the best safety in the league right now. But these guys can still get open against that secondary, in my opinion. I just think they played scared. They just didn't play with that fire like they should have. So they need to be accountable. The coaches are the coaches. Look, the Packers won a Super Bowl with that coach, and he didn't coach. So at least they can make the playoffs in that division. At least.
That's
Yeah,
interesting, man. I just didn't. I didn't expect that. Not this soon. Week 6. You know what I'm saying? I know we dealt with Mike McCarthy. I know they dropped a bombshell article about him and Aaron and all they beef, but that was after we fired Mike McCarthy. You know what I'm saying? That finally came out so far in week 6 for flagship franchise in the league to have something like that coming out. Ooh, it's just like I told Ray. Seems like his football team, the Dallas Cowboys, are the soap opera of sports.
Go.
Subscribe to our daddy's YouTube channel. He's the best. Hit the like button, turn on the notifications.